Alright, so reading the instructions, I'm supposed to pull this bearing out. The problem I'm going to have is that I don't have another bearing. I should have ordered one and I did not. The mechanical seals comes out from the other side. The instructions say basically to use a bearing puller to pull that bearing out. Once the bearing is out, drive the oil seal and the mechanical seal out through the other side, through the front. And that's mechanical seal is no good. I don't want to mess up my bearing here, so what I'm going to try to do, and hopefully I don't mess something up, I'm gonna, and I saw on a post somebody who got their mechanical seal out by using a screwdriver to kind of bend it on from the outside, and they pulled it out. I'm gonna try to go in from this side and catch it from here and see if I can drive it out. Let's look at it and see if I did anything. Did not do much of anything. Alright, kind of pulling this thing out. Alright, so I've kind of pulled it apart from the front. Let me compare it to the other one so I know what I'm pulling out. And I keep misplacing the new one. Alright, and earlier I showed this. I believe that's the oil seal. The oil seal is going to go behind here. So, or at least that's what I believe. Alright, so I've already pulled that ring out, and I've pulled this piece out. Let me see if I can drive a little bit more. Alright, I should be able to get that out. Alright. Something fell out. Alright, it's out of there. Of course it fell in the oil bucket. Let me get it dried off and show you. Alright. So here it is. I drove it out from the inside, and the book does say to replace that bearing at the same time. I don't have the bearing, and this is not that huge of a job, so if it's still leaking, I'll have to redo it or something. But like I said in another video, we're going riding in a couple of days and I got to get this fixed. So here was the outer case, and you can see that's that metal piece right there. So it goes in, it's going to go in like this. Up in, so the metal goes first. So next thing I got to do is get the oil seal out. I believe it's still in there. I don't know if you can see. There's an oil seal. Dry my hands off a little bit. I'll zoom in some. Let's see. Alright, so oil seal still in there, which I believe is this one here, which I believe is this one. Yeah, that's gonna be it. So now I gotta pull that out without damaging the ball bearing behind it. So I'm going to leave it right there. Some pliers to pull it in. Let me see if I can pull it out. And I know somebody's going to say that I'm not following the correct way to do it and all that stuff. I know. I never claimed to be a mechanic, so if you do this yourself, you might want to do it a different way. See if I can drive it out from the backside here. Gotta be careful. Alright, so I got that out. Now, oh, we got a little bit of trouble. Son of a... Alright, that oil seal needed to come out no matter what. This seal that I have, I believe, is not the right one. They are different sizes. And this one's got the grooves on the back side, like most oil seals do, and it's got the rubber ring on the inside. Oh man. Let me double check the stuff that I ordered. From what I can tell, this seal that I have, this new one. Alright, so a second ago, two problems. First problem is I pulled the seal out of here. Seal's all broken up. And when I pulled the seal out, I didn't think I had the other one. So I was looking around and actually found the oil seal that I had purchased. So this is actually a good one. So I actually had it. It was over on the shelf, and I grabbed the gaskets and the new mechanical seal and forgot to grab this. So I do have the seals that I need. So this is the mechanical, this is the oil seal, and then we got the mechanical seal as well. Here's the mechanical seal. So the oil seal is going to go in this hole, then the mechanical seal is going to go in with the metal side first, and then hopefully that fixes my issue where I was draining from this tube here and losing oil. So I'm going to clean that out. Also, along with that, when I didn't think I had that seal, I had the problem I had is the battery or the memory card in my camera went dead, so that's why the camera turned off like it did. So we got mechanical seal, oil seal, and then that other seal does go, which I originally thought in the other video, this is going to replace the seal in the impeller. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video for a second. I'm just going to wipe this stuff off, clean it up, and then I'll turn it back on when I'm getting ready to install everything. Alright, so I've gone through and cleaned out the inside. I'm ready to put the oil seal in. Groove side's going to go in towards the motor. I used a little bit of brake cleaner just to clean up the inside of here because there was a little bit of debris. So it should be clean. The hole, basically what's going to happen is the oil seal is going to go in next to that ball bearing, the bearing that's in there, and then just on the outside of where the seal is going to go is where the hole is, and the hole is what drains to this tube. So I got to get this up in there, and then the oil, the mechanical seal is going to go in next. What I'm going to use, a socket. Get a little bit of oil on this thing. I'm going to use a 14mm socket to help me drive it in. Yeah, that should be good. Put a little bit of oil. A little bit of oil left over from when I drained the oil earlier. Just around the oil seal, so it seals up better. Like I said, I've made a lot of videos where I've just been working on stuff, and I've had a lot of people comment, some good, some bad, but I never claim to be a mechanic. So if you really don't like the way I'm doing something, please, it doesn't really matter, but if you want to tell me, that's fine. Alright, so the oil seal's sitting there, and I'm just gonna put this on it and just lightly tap it. Until it's flush. Alright, I'm gonna go a little bit more. I think it's good. It's flush. I don't want to tap it too much because I don't want to drive the bearing out on the other side. Alright, so that's in place. Now, looking at the instructions, I'll go ahead and read these to you real quick for those two parts. From the outside of the alternator cover, press and insert the oil seal, which I just did, flush in the direction shown from the outside to the inside. Just did that. Then it goes on to tell you about putting the ball bearing back in place, which was already there because I never took the bearing out. Using a suitable socket in the bearing driver, which I don't have a bearing driver, press and insert the new mechanical seal until its flange stops at the step of the hole. Alright, so remembering what the other one looked like. Basically, I'll probably use this one. Basically, it's got a little lip here. That lip is going to go right on the edge here. Now it doesn't say anything about putting lubrication on this side or anything. It actually says on this side to put antifreeze or coolant, and I'll read that part in a minute. So I'm going to put that in place. It's going to be a tight fit. I'm hoping I might want to go with a bigger socket so that I'm on more of the flange and not as much of the. Let me do that. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'm going to go with a bigger socket so I'm actually on the flange and not on the mechanical seal part. The last thing I want to do is break it. I guess good luck finding a socket the right size. I've got a 29, let me see if I can find another one. The 29 millimeter is going to be just small, or just big enough, but not too big. A 28 millimeter would have been perfect. This one just touches the edge of the metal on this thing. So I'm going to try this one so I don't break the spring part or pop any of this. I'm afraid I'm going to break some of this. So this actually fits in there, and that's what I'm going to use to drive it into place. before. At least that's the plan. Move this stuff out of the way. I don't want to drop it in the oil. Alright. Last thing I want to do is break it. Alright, I want to make sure it's in here flush. This will be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Alright. Alright, so now how this whole thing is moving. Alright, it's going in. So I'm going to continue. Nope. Alright. So it came back out, nothing was broken, which is good. 28mm socket would have been perfect. Let me see, hold on. And I know I'm wasting your time. You know what? 27 is I got a 27 right here. This is perfect right here. Look, it fits right down in there. That's what I'm going to use. I didn't see the 27 sitting on the work cart. Almost got it. Oh, come on. Almost got it flush. Alright. I believe that's about it. Now, since I was leaking oil, in this thing, I'll back out a little bit. I believe the seal was bad, the actual oil seal was bad, not the mechanical seal. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go around the edge and I'm going to clean off the old gasket with a razor blade. And then I'm going to change this seal as well. I'm going to pop this one out. the old one out of the impeller and put the new one in. I'm gonna do all this kind of speed up the video because I know this is taking a while. What it says next is press and insert the new mechanical seal, which we just did, until the flange stops at the step of the hole. Just did that. Clean the slotting surface, which is going to be here, with a high flash point solvent, and apply a little coolant to the slotting surface to give the mechanical seal initial lubricant. Alright? Apply coolant to the surfaces of the rubber seal and sealing seat, and press the rubber seal B, which is the one I'm going to replace here, into the impeller by hand until the seat bottoms out. Tighten the washer, the water pump impeller by turning the bolt clockwise. Alright, so I don't know if I can pull this out. Let's see here. I'll try it. Alright, so that pops out with screwdriver. That doesn't look bad, but it came with the new one, so I might as well go ahead and put the new one in. Alright, so now I'm gonna put some antifreeze on this one and pop it back into place. Alright, so we got it wet. So to put it back in place by hand. Alright, that was easy. And that's back in place. Alright, now I'm going to put some coolant there, clean that off, and basically put it all back together. I'm not going to record the rest. So that's pretty much it. Reverse process of me taking apart. I'm going to have to put the cables for the stator back into the grommet back into the cover. Put the cover back in place, bolt it all the way around, put the big bolt back in here. The impeller is going to have to be put back on with the 10mm wrench. Gasket here. Oh yeah, and I got a new gasket for between the cover before I put all the bolts back on. And then basically just tighten it all down and get the main cover back on. And then I got to put all the fluids and stuff back in it. So just a reverse of what I've done so far. Thanks for watching Bigjermsgarage. Hopefully this fixes my problem. Like I said, we're going riding in a couple days, so I'll let you know what happens afterwards. Or maybe I won't, but we'll see. Have a good one, and I need to get this going so I can get home and watch some football tonight. Have a good one. Bye.